Hey, Claire. When are you coming for Thanksgiving this year? It's only a month away. It's on Thursday, so I assume you'll come at least 3 days before, as you've been doing. You should know that Jean can't come this Thanksgiving because she's so busy with her clinic. You know, sick people don't care whether it's a holiday or not. I heard she has even more patients now because of her delicate patient care. So you need to do everything by yourself. So I say you should come the weekend prior, not just 3 days. You have a ton of stuff to do, including house cleaning, grocery shopping, and making food for the entire family. I'm sure you're aware of your duties already, right? You'll need extra time since there will be almost 30 people here. Your father-in-law is craving ham instead of turkey this time. Make sure to get a whole ham and cook it to perfection. He's looking forward to it. I'm not coming, so you should talk to your son. Besides, how am I supposed to do all that by myself? I have work to do. I'm not just a housewife, and even if I was, it's too much to do. Jean is another daughter-in-law. She's part of this family. She could come and help regardless. I actually don't care if she can't make it this time because I won't be there whatsoever. What the hell are you saying? Why aren't you coming? That's not what you're supposed to say when you're the eldest daughter-in-law of the eldest son's family. Your father-in-law is the eldest son of his family, and when you married my son, you agreed to be a daughter-in-law who will do everything for this family. That's how it is. You knew about it already, but what's all this attitude? I'm sure you were born into a low family, so you don't know how the eldest son's family works. You need to show up on every holiday as the eldest daughter-in-law and take care of the duties. You can't show off you're from a low family. Don't you dare embarrass me in front of the entire family. Listen carefully. Since many decades ago, my husband's entire family, including his cousins and second cousins, had been gathering at my house every holiday to share food and drink and have conversations with each other to make this family even stronger. They basically have been networking to strengthen this family. Haven't you noticed that? I honestly don't understand what kind of networking or strengthening you guys were doing while eating and drinking. All the aunts were doing was being sarcastic and attacking each other on trivial things as if they were born to hurt each other. And they were busy pushing chores on each other because they don't want to do them, such as dishwashing and cleaning. All they do all day is complain to each other and start a fight because of the complaints. Ultimately, they dump chores on the daughters-in-law who are the underdogs in their own little world. They become happy again for a moment, and they continue talking and arguing all over again. Is that your definition of networking and strengthening? How dare you talk to me that way? I'm not done yet. What about men? Every man in the family never set a foot in the kitchen just because they're men. They have this weird belief that men shouldn't even be near the kitchen because the kitchen is only for women. They don't even think about helping themselves, so they call women every time they need something, including something as small as a cup of water. Obviously, women are already occupied with kitchen duties, but do they give a damn about it? No, because they're selfish bastards. I'm so sick of everything, including the aunts, every man in the family, and endless chores. For whom and what is the gathering for? I still don't understand after all these years. That's the exact definition of a tradition. Why would men set foot in the kitchen when women are much better at kitchen chores? You're old enough to understand the tradition that was passed on from one generation to another, and yet you still don't get it. What a shame. You need to keep the tradition. That's how your family will remain healthy. And eventually, having your family healthy will lead to your country being healthy. You can't ignore even a little part of the tradition because it will ruin everything in the end. Hear yourself, Miranda. Do you think that makes sense? Please refrain from pretending as if your words are the truth when they are actually a load of crap. I say no to your lecture. What a shame, right? What did you say? This is why I shouldn't have let my son marry you. I should have pushed him harder to break up with you. I told him 1,000,000 times that his wife is going to be the first daughter-in-law of the eldest family, and she has to come from another eldest family so she could understand how things are going to be. Look at you. You don't understand a bit of it because you're from a low family. How the hell should you know about the life of the tradition of the eldest family when you're from a low family, right? My ancestors will roll in their graves if they knew their eldest son had a daughter-in-law like you who doesn't know a damn about anything. I don't know what my son saw in a girl like you and eventually married you. I said no so many times, but I had to let him marry you because he insisted. The reason why I said yes to you was only because I loved my son, not because I decided to accept you. You should be thankful to me. You were able to marry a guy like my son because I said okay. You couldn't have married Adam if it weren't for me. Got it? I'm telling you, you have to come by the weekend prior to Thanksgiving unless you're not going to divorce my son. I don't care if you have a job or not. Stop coming up with excuses and make sure to get things done perfectly. Every single thing I tell you to do. Understood. Have you forgotten what happened last Christmas already? I went to your house 3 days before Christmas to do the things you told me to do. I cleaned your house, did grocery shopping, and cooked all by myself. I got up at 4 a.m. to cook that dish you specifically told me to make and made it with my best effort. But what did you say to that dish? You said, "What kind of food is this?" You humiliated me in front of your relatives by yelling at me. You criticized my food, saying you couldn't distinguish if it was for humans or for pigs, and brought my parents into the conversation that my parents didn't teach me properly. I can vividly remember your yucky face that was so oily, as if you put on pork fat all over your face, and the dirty faces of the relatives who were clapping and laughing because it was so funny to them. How could all of you do that to me if you considered me as your family? I realized I was just a maid to you whom you needed to cook and clean for you instead of a family. You thought I was beneath you just because I was your daughter-in-law. Nobody showed any respect to me. You were all so mean. And yet you're calling me again to do the same thing? That's so ridiculous. When I told you I'll toss them in the trash if you don't like what I made for you, you fiercely yelled at me to get on my knees and apologize to your relatives with your eyes wide and bulging, didn't you? When I said I didn't do anything to apologize for, so I'll leave and head to my mom's house, what did you say to me? You told me to never step foot in your house again because I was no longer your daughter-in-law. So I decided to never go to your house again. I'm only following your instruction. Is there a problem? I said that only because I was outraged for you being so rude and acting recklessly in front of all the family members without considering my position as your mother-in-law. Do you think it's acceptable to act that way just because I said something you didn't like to hear? Do you think it's understandable that you wouldn't fulfill your duties as a daughter-in-law by holding a grudge over your mother-in-law's words? Women wouldn't be crying over how they were treated by their in-laws from one generation to another if fulfilling duties as daughters-in-law was so simple and easy. Haven't you heard of the song called "The Life of a Woman"? It said even if your heart aches so much that you can't bear it, you have to endure it because you're a woman. That's a real woman. You should tell your friends about what you're trying to do. They'll tell you that you're insane and audacious. My grandmother, my mother, and I have all lived in that manner, enduring and persevering. So why are you the only one trying to avoid it? If you wanted to avoid it, why did you have to marry my son and bring such trouble to our family as a daughter-in-law? Do you think it would be easy to become the first daughter-in-law of the eldest family? There won't be any problem if you just do what your mother-in-law tells you to do. So why do you keep arguing and rebelling against me? Are you showing off for being ignorant? I can clearly tell that you came from a classless family. What trouble are you talking about? What kind of trouble did I bring to your family as a daughter-in-law? I was nothing but a devoted, dedicated, and obedient daughter-in-law for a long time. I'm saying an educated woman would have been my daughter-in-law if it weren't for you. I wouldn't have to argue with you so dishonorably if you weren't my daughter-in-law in the first place. It's my lifetime's worth of regret for letting Adam marry you. Having a conversation with you only gives me a headache, so let's just end it here. Nothing good will ever come out when I talk to you. I'll send Adam your way 3 days before Thanksgiving, so have him do the cleaning and cooking, or whatever you need for him to do. What the hell do you think you're doing? How dare you have my precious son do the household chores? Are you insane? How could you even think about having your husband do the work when it's supposed to be done by you? I have never asked my son to do any household chores in my 60 years of life. In my family, it has always been considered inappropriate for a man to do household chores. All part of the traditional values of my family, don't you understand? But who do you think you are telling my precious son to do such menial tasks? Are you the kind of person who makes my son do chores every day at home, belittling him and not allowing him to focus on more important matters? I will not stand for this disrespect toward my family's customs. We're married and we both have jobs. Marriage is a partnership, and remember that both of us contribute equally to the household. You should know we both work hard to support our family, and that includes not only financial support but also the management of our household. It's unrealistic and unfair to expect me to handle all the household chores alone just because I'm a woman, especially when both of us are working outside the home. Would you do this to your daughter if you had one? Would you tell her to stand by the unfairness? No, it's perfectly realistic and fair for you because you're a woman. Of course I would tell my daughter the same thing if I had one because a man knows nothing about household chores. And what kind of job are you talking about? Did you think I wouldn't find out that you spend your days at home playing games on your laptop all day every day? You lied about working from home just to satisfy your ego. Did you really think that I would fall for such a lie when I have lived more than 30 years than you? You have the audacity to use sneaky tactics to avoid doing household chores when you eat, sleep, and spend my son's hard-earned money. You are able to have the luxury of playing games all day every day at home because of my son's hard work. Have you ever thought about how I feel as the one who gave birth to that son? How would you feel if you were in my shoes and had to put up with a worthless and lazy daughter-in-law like you? There's no way I can approve of someone like you. I hate you with all my being. No, I still don't understand you, even if I try to put myself in your shoes 1,000 times. The fact that I run an e-commerce business and it's doing so well that I earn more than my husband remains unchanged, no matter how much you try to deny it. With my hard-earned money, I have planned a Thanksgiving trip with my parents to Italy, and I will be satisfied if they are happy and enjoy themselves. I don't need your approval, and I don't want to deal with your tantrums anymore. Please stop obsessing over me and go spend some quality time with your beloved son. I'll focus on treating my parents going forward, so give your son a chance to do the same for you. What did you say? What trip? Are you actually going on a trip with your family on Thanksgiving? Italy will cost you a fortune! I thought you were a bum! I'm tired of repeatedly telling you no endlessly, so think whatever you want. If you want me to be unemployed, be my guest. Your head is on your own neck, so it's up to you to decide what to think and believe. Sure thing, Claire. I certainly believe everything you say. You don't have to, but now I'm excited that you decided to do so. I should say thank you accordingly, right? Oh, you don't have to thank me for anything, darling. You don't have to be so formal between you and me. It would be nice if you do me a favor, though. What kind of favor are you asking? For the trip to Italy that you're taking with your parents on Thanksgiving, can you please take me with you? I would love to come with you and your parents. I have never been on a plane for my entire life of 60 years, as you know. I thought I would fly to the afterlife without being on a plane even for once. But here I am getting a chance to be on a plane because of my rich daughter-in-law. How lucky I am, right? I understand that it's your freedom to fly to the sky or the universe as you please, but it seems difficult for you to join us. This trip was already booked a few months ago, so it's hard to add you now. It's a little too late. I thought you had a lot of money. Pay them whatever they ask you. Everything will be fine as long as you pay more, right? No, because flight tickets and hotels are already fully booked. They won't accept last-minute reservations even if I pay extra. Also, you value your traditions more than your life. It's absurd to travel during the holiday season without honoring your ancestors and being with your relatives. As the eldest daughter-in-law, you should uphold your traditions at home. What will happen if your ancestors are not honored? What about your relatives? They'll understand if I don't uphold the tradition once in a while. You've been emphasizing how important it is to comply with the tradition this whole time, haven't you? I guess the importance of complying with traditions changes depending on your willingness. Are you making fun of me because I'm an old lady from the countryside? You would have done anything to make my wish come true if you really wanted to take me with you. Are you letting your mom enjoy sightseeing in the sky and leaving me on the ground just because I'm your mother-in-law? You should remember that a daughter-in-law is also a daughter and a mother-in-law is also a mother. You're not supposed to discriminate against me like this. Your mother and I should be no different. How can you disrespect me like this when I've given up my pride and begged you to take me with you? It's truly unbearable. Your parents must be thrilled to have a good daughter like you. They might have had a hard time feeding themselves if it weren't for you, but lucky them, they got you. They must be jumping up and down out of happiness. Did you get them first-class seats? Which hotel did you make a reservation at in Italy, Is it 5 stars? You can stop being sarcastic. And where did you get the idea of my family being so poor? I have never heard of such a thing in my entire life. I thought I was born into at least a middle-class family, but somehow you thought it was a low class receiving food stamps and medical? What other assumptions did you make about my family? I'm wondering. What middle class are you talking about when your dad works at a construction site? Isn't construction job for low-income families like you? For those who live in a 700-square-foot home with 6 other people? Now that I sweet-mouthed you for making some money, you're trying to even lie about your father's job. I heard with my own 2 ears your father saying that he works at a construction site when we met before your wedding. Who are you trying to fool? Was he not polite to me because he was ashamed of his low job? He seemed like he knew his place, though. If you don't have money, you have to be at least polite, right? He was just trying to be polite and respectful because you're going to be his in-law and my mother-in-law. He respected you because he was a decent human being who knew how to respect other people regardless of their financial situation, not because you deserved one. It will be embarrassing if you act like you are better than him. My father has been running a construction company since he was young, and he still considers construction work as his calling, working hard on the side every day. He's not some shameful person who is looking to take his married daughter's money. What I have is nothing compared to what he has. It is not fair to question his occupation or make false accusations just because he works at a construction site. You should respect him and his work, as he has been doing it for years with dedication and passion. He has earned his living through honest work, and it is nothing to be ashamed of. So your father is the president of a construction company? That's great! My house is quite old and needs some repairs, as you know, so could you ask your father for some help? Should I ask him myself? He said that construction work is his calling and passion. He should be able to help me out, right? I don't see why not. Once you get the estimate and deposit the repair costs, he will carry out the work with a sense of responsibility and sincerity. Why is he going to charge me the repair costs when I'm his in-law? Home repairs are not a one-man job. It involves a team of skilled workers who dedicate their time and expertise to making your home a better place to live in. These workers are not just people who show up with a hammer and some nails, but they are professionals who have spent years honing their craft and perfecting their skills. They have families to support and bills to pay, and their work is how they make ends meet. To expect them to work for free is not only unfair, but also unseemly. What did you just say? Unseemly? How dare you say unseemly to your mother-in-law? I'm sorry. It seems like I got carried away and my words got out of control a little bit. I didn't intend for things to escalate like that. I have a lot of work to do, but I got distracted and started chatting with you over text, and I guess I got worked up without realizing it. So I think I'm done talking to you. I'll get going. No, Claire, hold on! I understand that you can't come this Thanksgiving because you're going to be on a trip to Italy. But you're coming for Christmas, right? No, I have no intention of going to your house ever again. I will never set foot in a place where I'm not respected as a human being. From now on, only my husband will be there for every holiday. Just so you know. You should be thrilled not to see me, but your son alone. I wish that there will be no reason for us to have any further contact. Goodbye. After what happened, Miranda sent me multiple text messages asking me to come to her house, but I ignored them every time. Jean, the second daughter-in-law, who is a hotshot doctor, is always busy and never comes for holidays, so I heard that Miranda does all the work alone when she's already 60 years old. She must have had no other choice than to ask me to come because she felt overwhelmed and needed my help. She should be happy to see her precious son. I don't understand why she is calling me and begging me to do things when she doesn't even want to see me. I cannot forgive her for how she treated me just because I'm the eldest first daughter-in-law. I am loved by my own parents, so I have no reason to be treated like an inferior human being in my in-laws' house. Until the faces that laughed and made fun of the food I made by calling it food for pigs are forgotten, I don't think I will ever step into that corner of the house again. My husband said he would never go to his mother too, since she caused me such pain, but I forced him to visit her just for the holidays because she might faint if she can't see her loving son. She may be a bad mother-in-law to me, but she is still the mother who gave birth to and raised my husband. It might be a bad thought, but I hope she feels the painful void of my absence. I hope that it will make her realize how unfair and unreasonable her actions toward me were, and that she will sincerely apologize to me. I don't think her apology can immediately mend my heart, but perhaps in the distant future, we might be able to see each other once again with smiling faces.